Eating healthy in America is expensive. That's the lie they want you to believe. It keeps people trapped in poor nutrition because they think they can't afford better. They can. At Aldi, today I'm revealing the complete guide to eating healthy at Aldi in 2026. Real meals, real nutrition, real savings. Stick around. The first strategy saves most families $200 a month. Let's break this down. Protein, where most people waste the most money. Beginners think healthy protein means expensive protein. Organic chicken at $8 a pound. Wild-caught salmon at $14. Grass-fed beef at $12. They see those prices at the grocery store, panic, and grab a $5 frozen pizza instead. Or they skip protein entirely, snack on chips all afternoon, and wonder why they're tired all the time. Pros know that protein is protein. The amino acids in a $2 dozen eggs are identical to the amino acids in a high-end protein powder. And at Aldi, quality protein costs less than most people realize. A single mother named Vanessa in Ohio feeds herself and 2 kids complete protein every day for about $20 a week. That number sounds impossible until you see her system: eggs, chicken breast, canned tuna, dried beans, and 1 package of ground turkey. That's it. 5 protein sources, $20, 7 days of meals. People at work ask how I afford to eat healthy as a single mom. I tell them I spend $20 a week on protein, and my kids eat chicken stir-fry, turkey tacos, egg-fried rice, and lentil soup every week. Real dinners, not sad food. They don't believe me. They're spending $12 on a single bag of protein powder that lasts 2 weeks. I'm spending $2 on a dozen eggs that gives me the same nutrition for a fraction of the price. Here's the breakdown Vanessa figured out. Eggs at $2 a dozen, 17 cents per egg, 6 grams of protein each. The single most cost-effective protein in any grocery store. Breakfast, snacks, fried rice, egg salad. Vanessa uses 24 eggs a week for her family. $4. Chicken breast at $3 to $4 a pound, about 88 cents per serving. Aldi's Never Any. Line is antibiotic-free at conventional prices, 2 pounds per week for her family. $7. Canned tuna at about $1 per can, 20 grams of protein per can, 0 cooking required. 3 cans a week for quick lunches. $3. Dried beans and lentils at about $1.25 per pound. And here's where beginners make their biggest mistake. They skip beans because they don't know how to cook them. Pros buy dried beans in bulk, cook a big pot on Sunday, and use them all week. 1 pound yields 6 to 7 cups cooked. 15 grams of protein per cup. 2 cents per serving. The cheapest protein that exists. Ground turkey at about $4 per pound. 4 servings for taco night, pasta sauce, or stir-fry. Total weekly protein for a family of 3, $20.50. That's $80 a month for complete protein. Most families spend that on 2 restaurant dinners that leave them hungry 2 hours later. A registered dietitian who reviewed Vanessa's system. This meets protein requirements for an adult and 2 children with room to spare. The variety prevents nutritional gaps. The cost is lower than what most of my clients spend on protein supplements alone. But here's what separates beginners from pros on protein. Beginners buy it, cook it once, and eat it. Pros batch cook. Vanessa grills all her chicken on Sunday, boils 2 dozen eggs, cooks a pot of beans, and portions everything into containers. Weeknight dinners take 15 minutes because the protein is already done. That habit, Sunday batch cooking, is the difference between a meal plan that works and one that collapses by Wednesday. The batch cooking habit also kills the biggest objection beginners have. I don't have time to cook healthy. Vanessa works full-time and raises 2 kids. She does not have time either. She has 2 hours on Sunday. That is enough. 2 hours of prep on one day eliminates 5 days of dinner stress. Most people spend more than 2 hours a week deciding what to order on delivery apps. Protein solved. The most expensive nutrition category costs $20 a week when you shop like Vanessa. But protein is only half the equation. Vegetables are where the food industry's lie gets the most profitable because most people think eating enough vegetables requires spending a fortune on fresh, organic produce. Vegetables, the category where beginners waste the most. Beginners buy fresh, organic kale at $4 a bunch, fresh organic berries at $6 a container. They fill their cart with beautiful produce that wilts in the fridge by Thursday and hits the trash can by Sunday. They spend $100 a month on vegetables and throw away $40 of it. Pros buy frozen broccoli for $1.29, canned tomatoes for 90 cents, a head of cabbage for $1 that lasts 2 weeks, carrots that stay fresh for a month. They spend $70 a month on vegetables and waste almost nothing. A retired couple named Richard and Diane have eaten primarily from Aldi's produce and frozen vegetable sections for 6 years. Their monthly vegetable budget for 2 adults eating vegetables at every single meal, $65 total. Our friends shop at Whole Foods and complain about their grocery bill. They spend more on organic spinach in a week than we spend on all our vegetables in a month. And here's what kills me. Half of what they buy ends up in the garbage because it spoils before they use it. We eat more vegetables than they do every single week. More fiber, more vitamins, more variety on our plates. We just don't throw ours away. Richard and Diane's system targets 3 tiers of vegetables. Tier 1, the workhorses that cost almost nothing and last forever in your fridge. Cabbage at about $1 per head, 2 to 3 pounds of vitamin C, vitamin K, and fiber. Used for coleslaw, sautéed sides, added to soups, or shredded raw into tacos. 1 head lasts 2 weeks. Carrots at 85 cents a pound, beta-carotene, fiber, and they stay crisp for 3 to 4 weeks. Raw for snacks with peanut butter, roasted with olive oil for sides, diced into every soup and stew Richard makes. Sweet potatoes at $1.25 per pound. Vitamin A, complex carbs, incredibly filling. Bake whole, mash for sides, cube and roast. Onions at 70 cents a pound. The flavor base for literally everything savory lasts a month. These 4 vegetables are in our kitchen every single week, Diane said. They never spoil before we use them. They go into everything, and they cost about $6 total. That is our vegetable foundation, and it has been for 6 years. Tier 2, frozen vegetables that are nutritionally identical to fresh. This is where beginners make their most expensive mistake. They buy beautiful organic broccoli at $4 a bunch, use half, and watch the rest turn yellow in the crisper drawer by Thursday. That lie about fresh being better cost them hundreds a year in spoiled produce. A food scientist was direct. Frozen vegetables are flash frozen at peak ripeness. They often contain more vitamins than fresh produce that spent a week on a truck. The idea that frozen is inferior is a marketing myth that benefits produce sellers, not consumers. Frozen broccoli, green beans, spinach, mixed vegetables, all $1 to $1.79 per bag at Aldi. Zero waste because you use what you need and the rest stays frozen. Richard estimates they save $30 to $40 a month by never throwing away wilted produce. Tier 3, canned tomatoes, 90 cents per can. Something most people do not know. Lycopene, a powerful antioxidant, actually increases with cooking and canning. Canned tomatoes are nutritionally superior to fresh for this nutrient. Base for pasta sauce, soups, stews, chili, essential pantry staple that never spoils and costs less than $1. Richard and Diane spend about $17 a week on vegetables using this system. That's roughly $65 to $70 a month for abundant produce. More servings than most families eating twice as much. The pro insight Diane shared: stop thinking about vegetables as fresh versus frozen versus canned. Think about nutrition per dollar and waste per dollar. Fresh organic kale at $4 that you throw half away costs $8 per serving you actually eat. Frozen broccoli at $1.29 that you use completely costs $1.29. The frozen broccoli is the better deal by every measure. 2 categories down: protein at $80 monthly, vegetables at $70. $150 total for the 2 most important nutritional categories. Most families spend that on fast food and still feel terrible. But meals need a foundation: grains and starches that provide energy and make everything else filling. And this is the category where Aldi's prices become almost absurd. Grains, where $10 a week buys everything you need. Beginners buy specialty ancient grain bowls at $6 and artisanal sourdough at $7 a loaf. They feel virtuous about their expensive healthy choices. Pros: buy oats, brown rice, whole wheat pasta, and a loaf of bread. And they're set for the week. A college student named Marcus eats healthy on a budget his roommates say is impossible. They have watched him do it for 2 years. His monthly grain cost? About $40. My roommates eat ramen every night and think they're saving money. They spend the same amount I do. They just eat garbage instead of actual food. A 10-cent bowl of oatmeal has more fiber and nutrition than a 40-cent package of ramen. Brown rice at 18 cents a cup is the same price as instant ramen, and it's actual food your body can use. Marcus nailed it. Here's what $10 a week on grains looks like. Oats at $3 for 42 ounces, 30 servings at 10 cents each. The cheapest healthy breakfast in America. Oatmeal with a sliced banana and peanut butter, 35 cents total. More fiber than a $4 box of cereal. More sustained energy than a $3 granola bar. More nutrition than a $5 smoothie bowl from a juice bar. Pros eat oats every morning and feel full until lunch. Beginners eat cereal that costs 10 times more, crashes their blood sugar by 10 a.m., and sends them to the vending machine. Brown rice at $2 for 2 pounds. 11 cups cooked at 18 cents each. Base for stir fry, side for chicken, mixed with beans for complete protein. It takes 20 minutes to cook a week's worth. Whole wheat pasta at $1.50 per pound. 8 servings at 19 cents each. Dinner for a family for under $3 when you add canned tomato sauce and frozen vegetables. Whole wheat bread at about $1.10 per loaf, 5 cents per slice. Sandwiches, toast, sides. Marcus tracked his spending against his roommates. They buy ramen, frozen burritos, energy drinks, and delivery. When ramen gets depressing. Monthly total, about $240 eating terribly. Marcus spends $160 on real food and eats better. Same campus, same kitchen, completely different outcomes. Total grains, roughly $10 a week. $40 to $50 monthly. Complete grain and energy needs covered. 3 categories done. Protein, $80. Vegetables, $70. Grains, $45. That's $195 monthly for the 3 foundational food groups. And we haven't touched fats, dairy, or the meal plan that ties it all together. This is where the lie completely falls apart. Because the people who told you healthy eating costs $600 a month, We're including artisanal cheese, high-end yogurt, and imported olive oil. Aldi has all of those categories at prices that make the total land under $2.50. If you're realizing the math doesn't lie, hit subscribe, because the complete meal plan coming up shows exactly what eating $200 a month looks like on a plate. Fats and dairy, the final $30 to $40. Beginners skip healthy fats because they seem expensive at regular stores. Or worse, they buy low-fat everything because decades of bad nutrition advice told them fat is the enemy. Then they wonder why they're always hungry an hour after eating, why their skin is dry, why they can't focus. Because fat is what creates satiety, supports brain function, and helps your body absorb vitamins A, D, E, and K. Without adequate fat, you're malnourished no matter how many vegetables you eat. Pros know that healthy fats are essential and cheap at Aldi. Natural peanut butter at $4.25 for 40 ounces, 11 cents per serving, 40 servings per jar. Healthy fat, protein, vitamin E. One jar lasts a month of daily use for the whole family. Olive oil at $5.25 per bottle, 11 cents per tablespoon. Monounsaturated fats for heart health. One bottle lasts 6 to 8 weeks. Full-fat Greek yogurt at $4.25 for 32 ounces. Protein, probiotics, calcium. One container a week. Milk at $3 per gallon. Cheese at $2.25 per package. Butter at $3.50 per pound. Weekly fats and dairy about $15. Monthly $60 to $65. Complete monthly total: protein 80, vegetables 70, grains 45, fats and dairy 60. That's $255 for complete, balanced, genuinely healthy nutrition for one adult. For a couple like Richard and Diane, roughly $450. For a family of 4, about $650 to $700, still hundreds less than the national average of over 1,000. But numbers on a page mean nothing without meals on a plate. The reason most budget eating plans fail isn't the math. The math always works. It's that people can't picture what cheap, healthy food actually looks like. They imagine sad rice and plain chicken. They imagine deprivation. So here's what this actually looks like on a plate. 3 days from the rotation that Vanessa, Richard, and Diane, and Marcus all use variations of. The meal plan. What under $10 a day looks like. Monday, breakfast. Oatmeal with sliced banana and peanut butter. 35 cents. More fiber, more protein, more sustained energy than a $3 drive-through breakfast sandwich. Lunch. Tuna salad on whole wheat with carrot sticks. $1.20, 20 grams of protein, 0 cooking. Dinner. Chicken stir-fry with frozen vegetables over brown rice. $2.15, 25 grams of protein, 3 servings of vegetables, complex carbs. Daily total, $3.70. 3 complete meals for less than 1 latte at a coffee shop. Wednesday, breakfast. Scrambled eggs with whole wheat toast, 40 cents. Lunch, bean and rice bowl with salsa and cheese, 95 cents. This is the meal Marcus's roommates can't believe costs under $1. Dinner, whole wheat pasta with homemade tomato sauce, frozen broccoli, and parmesan, $2.33. A meal that tastes like it costs $12 at a restaurant. Daily total, $3.68. A full day of healthy eating for less than a fast food value meal. Friday, breakfast. Greek yogurt with frozen berries and a drizzle of honey, $1.20. Lunch, peanut butter and banana sandwich with an apple, 65 cents. Dinner, lentil soup with whole wheat bread, $2.10. A pot that makes 4 servings, leftovers for Saturday lunch. Daily total, $3.95. Still under $4 for a full day of real, nutritionally complete food. 3 days. Average daily cost, $3.78. That's $26.46 per week, $106 per month, for 3 complete, balanced, genuinely nutritious meals every single day. A registered dietitian who works with low-income families reviewed this entire rotation. This meets or exceeds USDA nutritional recommendations for all major macro and micronutrients. The variety prevents both nutritional gaps and meal boredom. This isn't a crash diet. This is sustainable, complete nutrition. Vanessa adds $50 to $70 monthly for the things that make healthy eating sustainable long-term, condiments that make food taste good, spices that prevent boredom, coffee because she's human, snacks for her kids, and occasional treats because deprivation diets don't last. Her total, about $170 a month. For herself and 2 growing children. Eating well every single day of the month. Her co-workers spend 3 times that on a chaotic mix of delivery apps, drive-thrus, and overpriced health food. Eat worse. That math is the entire point of this video, not a lecture about nutrition, not a guilt trip about fast food, just numbers that prove a point most people have never seen this clearly. Not that Aldi is cheap, everyone knows that, but that the gap between what people think healthy eating costs and what it actually costs is the most profitable lie in the American food industry. Whole Foods charges $600 a month for what Aldi provides at $200. That $400 gap buys nicer lighting, wider aisles, a curated shopping experience, and a story you tell yourself about being health conscious. It does not buy better nutrition. The nutrition is identical. The ingredients are the same molecules. The vitamins don't become more effective because the store had nicer lighting and a wider olive oil selection. And this is where the food industry's lie completely collapses. Beginners shop by brand. They buy what packaging tells them is healthy. They trust price as a signal of quality. They spend $4 on acai bowls with 30 grams of sugar and call it health food. They spend $600 a month and still don't eat enough vegetables. Pros shop by ingredient list and nutrition label. They buy what their body actually needs. They understand that a 40-cent bowl of oatmeal has more fiber than a $4 acai bowl, that a 65-cent bean bowl has more protein than a $12 restaurant salad, that a 17-cent egg provides the same amino acids as a $2 scoop of protein powder. The nutrition doesn't know what you paid for it. A vitamin C molecule from a $1 bag of frozen broccoli is chemically identical to a vitamin C molecule from a $6 bunch of organic kale. Your body can't tell the difference. Your cells can't read the receipt. Only your wallet knows, and your wallet prefers Aldi. That's not a grocery tip. That's a completely different way to eat. The food industry profits when you believe healthy eating is expensive. That belief is worth billions to them annually. It drives 2 behaviors, and both make them money. You either overpay at premium stores like Whole Foods, where the lighting is nicer and the prices are triple, or you give up on healthy eating entirely and buy their profitable, ultra-processed food instead. Both outcomes make them money. The third outcome, the one they hope you never discover, is walking into Aldi with a $20 list and eating better than their $600 customers. The one outcome they don't want is you walking into Aldi with a list, spending $170 and eating better than their $600 customers. That's what Vanessa does every month. That's what Richard and Diane have done for 6 years. That's what Marcus does on a student budget. Now you know exactly how they do it. The same system Vanessa uses to feed 3 people for $170 a month. The same tiers Richard and Diane built over 6 years. The same math Marcus uses to out-eat his roommates on less money. The food was always there. The prices were always this low. The only thing missing was someone laying out the system. If this changed how you think about what healthy eating costs, or saved your family hundreds every month, hit subscribe. We're comparing budget healthy eating at every major retailer so you always know exactly where your dollar buys the most real nutrition. The results will change how you shop forever. I'll see you in the next one.